everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And what did we do in the last part? I think we finished off. Oh, it was the raid. We did the first of the 24-man raid sets. The myths of the realm. How can I remember? Aglia? I think that's what it was. Yeah. We are doing another event. This is actually a Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XI collaboration event, kind of like what happened with Dragon Quest a while back. And this is pretty interesting because this has been a recurring event for a couple years now. So I was kind of hoping it would come back this year. So it's all about Final Fantasy XI. Yeah, this will be interesting. Journey to Remember. Excuse me, miss, do you have a moment? I am Ramumu with the Harbor Herald, and judging by your address, you're one of those well-traveled adventurers I've heard so much about. No doubt one as worthy as yourself had heard the rumors of an unusual warrior maiden from the Far East. Danger constantly follows in her footsteps, and the Far Easterners have spoken with claim her dress and fighting style are nothing they've ever seen. Do you know what happened the last time a strange warrior from unknown lands came to Eorzea? That upstart Petir Ransom practically stole the parchment from my desk to write his story. Are they referring to the Final Fantasy XV event? Our leadership soon doubled, and he's been regarded as the Harbor Herald's finest reporter ever since. That should have been my story, but I'll be damned if he beats me to this one. But if following her is as dangerous as it sounds, I'll need an adventurer like you to keep me safe. If you're interested, meet me down at Costa del Sol. That's where she was last spotted, so that's where I plan to start. Look at that old Final Fantasy XI logo. I almost said 7. Alright, it's Costa del Sol, here we go. I used to play Final Fantasy XI way back when I was in like middle school, and I think early high school too. Of course, back then, I unfortunately had the displeasure of sharing an account with my brother. So I never got to do the cool shit like Dynamis. And eventually I played it for about 4 years, but quit when my server ended up merging with another, and I literally lost contact with everybody I talked to. So that was unfortunate. I had fun with it though. I just can't see myself going back to it now, honestly. Ah, you're here at last. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. She was here just a few bells ago, or so I was told. Look over there. Could it be? Hello, lady. Begging your pardons, please do not think me strange for asking about. Can you tell me if we're close to Selbina, or perhaps Mara? I fear I am hopelessly lost. I'm afraid you're very far from those two. Those were the ports that connected, let me do that. Those are the ports that connected, that one desert. I can't think of the name. The desert and the area that connected towards Windhurst. Selbina? Marara? Sorry, dear, but you're one of them on the eastern shore of Vilbrand. Eastern La Nocia, to be precise. I take it you're the far eastern traveler that's been the talk of the taverns as of late. You've cut quite the warpath through Eorzea from what I've heard. Yes, I hail from the far east, but Vilbrand? La Nocia? Cannot recall such names. Truth be told, I cannot recall much of anything since awakening in these strange surroundings. By Brightcot's beard! You mean you've lost your memory? I remember. My name is Iora. I'm training in the way of the glaive, though I feel I'm still a novice. Before awakening here, I was on a mission to... Forgive me. It's hard to make sense of what little I can recall. The only with clear thoughts in my mind are a master and a powerful technique I labor to perfect. Amatsu Kiori. I am certain it is essential to complete my mission. Interesting you remember training above all else. Perhaps that's the key. If you continue to practice your master's teachings, it stands to reason other related memories might come back to you. Recall my mission by first recalling master's teachings. Yes, it does seem plausible. I do not doubt many of the techniques I learned to have a specific purpose. It would be only a matter of focusing on this particular one. Scoop I've been looking for! A Far Eastern warrior on a special mission? Well, if we're in danger. This isn't some fairy tale like Peter's story. People need to know. But she's no good to us if she can't remember anything. Help her get down so we can get to the bottom of this. Okay. Here, take this map with before you go. Training won't do any good if you get lost now, will it? Your kindness is greatly appreciated. Thank you. The journey alone on this strange land will be a trial all its own, I'm sure. Might we explore the shore south of here? I recall mentioning the beach was an excellent place for training. Something about the aquatic wildlife being suitable for sparring. If the creatures here are similar, I would very much like to try my hand against them. I trust you'll ensure that she has every opportunity to do so. Now, don't let me keep you. The sooner she remembers her mission, the better. When she's had her fill of combating critters along the coast, perhaps you should rest in Limsa where it's safer. Bulwark Hall should do nicely. It's the first place she'll come after coming through the gates. First place she'll see. Excuse me. Alright. What are you gonna do? Fucking sit back and let me do all the hard work? Yeah, clearly. Thanks. Alright. And we gotta wait for the fate to spawn. Fantastic. So, we might be here for a bit. So I will be back when the fate spawned. Alright, that wasn't a long wait. What's nice about this is you had the Final Fantasy XI battle music. So, you're playing... This is what the battle music for Final Fantasy XI is. Fledgling adventurers fight crowds like these to better themselves. Shit. I pray our training is as successful as theirs was. And that's the first bit of dialogue, my bad. What'd she say? I reminded her of a tale long ago. Okay. Alright. I believe that will suffice for now. Fighting alongside such a seasoned warrior has been educational. I am grateful that you chose to accompany me. She's got a fancy looking spear. Alright. To Limsa! Training at the beach was invigorating. It has been too long since I enjoyed such sport. Fighting alongside one was so well versed in the arts of war. I would like to think I improved my form by following your example. At first I doubted crowds would be suitable for practice, but I was quite wrong. Testing my strength against their hardened shells, swing after swing, over and over again. I can easily spend days or even weeks at a time battling them. If only I could remember who suggested this training regimen. I'll have a... Take a look at this. I found this fancy looking crystal stone thingy. Maybe that'll give you an idea. Oh my, what a peculiar stone. I sense something within it. Something familiar. Something dark. That doesn't look good. Shit, I skipped it! No! Something or other, and yet I'm convinced these visions will lead to my mission. Why would my master trust me with the means to slay such a foe? The main answer must lie within my memories. They have to. All the more reason I must hurry to complete my training and perfect Amatsu Kiyori. While waiting for your arrival, I asked a few couple travelers from Gridani, I think, where I might find creatures of a more dark and unusual nature. They told me of a place called Hawk Manor, a cursed estate whose grounds play host to various sorts of hellish monsters. These creatures just sound like promising opponents, full of fury and cunning I wouldn't expect in a true battle. Now then, let us be off. When we are finished, we can meet in the nearby town. Okay. Alright. To Gridani, here we go. I need to go to Hobbit Branch. Gotta go up, gotta go up. Oh, damn it. I was looking at the wrong one, dude. There's a bit of story behind who she is and who her master is, and I don't know if it's ever talked about here. I just saw someone talking about it on a Facebook post. If it's not talked about, I will elaborate on it, but well, as best as I can. Then again, I don't remember much of what he said. I just remember a couple things. Alright, so we gotta wait for this fate, so... Okay. I will be right back. Alright. Let's do it. This is the air is tainted by the darkness. Getting to the Shadow Lord, from whence do they come? From the void. Yeah, I synced up. Probably easier if I do a different job, honestly. These demons, they call to mind another old story. To surpass his limits, a great samurai once fought with such fiends. Perhaps by defeating these demons, I could do the same. I don't know. Guess we'll find out, right? I would say that we have driven them back. Alas, I could scarcely match your pace. This will not do. There must be a way for me to improve more quickly. We'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Alright. Good Adonia. Thank you for once again aiding me in my training. To witness such majesty and grace on the battlefield is truly inspiring. It served as a wonderful lesson in combat. Here's another stone. What do you get from this? Oh, you have found yet another strange stone. Yes, it radiates with a warmth just much like the last, but the color is... Wait, do you hear that? I didn't hear anything. Ugh. To be honest, since I started playing Final Fantasy XI, I don't recognize any of those characters. That was so long ago. I probably wouldn't even remember them even if I did. Or even if I did know them. A long and arduous journey together with a young girl. This vision is not what I expected. We fought many battles together, and we were not alone. No, I dare say our comrades were well beyond counting. Business with I, a lowly student, have undertaken such missions. I could not make sense of it. Still, I must thank you for this. Before meeting you, I was hopelessly lost, smothered by a fog of fear and uncertainty. But now I have your light to guide me. You brought me yet another step closer to completing my training and unlocking the memories still dormant within me. I just spoke with a few other patrons here before you arrived. I believe I found the perfect place to continue honing my skills. The Sagoli Desert. If what I was told is true, a creature of unspeakable terror roams the sands. They say its strength is impossible to gauge, since no one lives to tell of its great might. But together, I believe we can lay the beast low. When we have finished, we can take a hard-earned rest in Ul'dah. Alright. Was a giant sandworm? Probably. Maybe we'll be lucky and the thing will be there. It is! Smiles upon me! Oh, it's fucking almost over. Damn it! Unfortunate. Saw a glimpse of it. I'm not gonna read the text because I'm not at that stage yet. Alright, again, I'll be right back once it's spawned. It'll probably be a little bit longer because it just ended. I'm not quite sure what the respawn rates for this fate is. Alright, let's do it! Look, over there! Could it be? It's a giant scorpion. I know that fiend. Those jagged pincers dripping with venom. It is Circuit, and an infamous beast and slayer countless men. Come, let's bring an end to its legend, see ours grow in its wake. Alright, I don't recognize this thing at all, but I'll believe you. That was easy. No. To think that we managed to defeat such a foe. And yet, I find there's something within me still wanting. I must find a way to overcome this. I must find my way home. You'll get there. One day. There's no words to express my gratitude for your assistance. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine confronting the legendary circuit. If not for you, I would be but one of the countless victims who succumbed to its poisonous sting. Have a shard to commemorate the victory. Another stone. Yes, comes to me now. A mortal struggle. Forbidden magics uttered in the final bid for salvation. Finra. It all makes sense now. The pitched battles, the arduous journeys, the fellowship of adventures. It was not my life that I recalled, but rather the tales of a great hero I mistook as myself. I suspected as such feats were too extraordinary to be my own, and the memories held within the stone had been removed without doubt. They were of a journey into the past, one that revealed a horrible truth I dare not repeat aloud. But I remember my home, Vanadil. It is not some territory continent, but an entirely different world. My true memories return to me now, and that's all thanks to you. More importantly, I believe I now understand how to wield Amatsu Kiori. It should not be long before my path home is clear to me as well, but first I must see my train to its completion. While waiting here, I heard unsealing stories of a foul beast terrorizing Bronze Lake. This is the perfect opportunity to put into practice everything I've learned. Today is the day I wield the power of Amatsu Kiori. After this last endeavor, let us meet at Limsa Laminsa. Okay. Sure. Bronze Lake, here we go. La. Maybe the bit. Oh, of course not. Actually, maybe we'll be there when I get there. Commence the key to Amatsu Kiori. Alright, cool. Nice. On your guard, it says a dark presence. There, and it's not alone. It's an eyeball. And I'm not alone either. I'll deal with the dragon and pray to tend to the eye. Yeah, I love this thing. That's so true, and yet it isn't harmed. I'm near my limit. No, I did not come this far to fail now. I will return to my home. To Master. The power fills me. The power of Amatsu Kiori. Come, Cecil, it begins. Yeah, another battle theme from Final Fantasy XI. was easy. At last, my training is complete, and it's all thanks to you. You were always there to keep me on the path. I would speak with you more, but not here. Let us make for Limsa Laminsa. Okay. Where am I going? Bulwark? At last, the power of Matsukuri's mind to command, my memories are slowly but surely returning. None of this would have been possible if not for your unwavering guidance. I think that I could have forgotten a mission so vital. My resolve was unyielding, my mind focused on the task before me. In the end, I fear I may have jeopardized all I hold dear. As I told you earlier, my home is, or rather was, a world known as Vanadil. Try as we might, its destruction could not be forestalled, but fate saw fit to give me one last chance. I was allowed to travel back in time to escape from the past before the darkness had consumed all. Together with the heroes of the past, I knew that tragedy could be averted just as it had been so many times before. Master was the greatest of them all, a hero without equal, whose grand adventures I mistook as my own memories. I cannot help but feel I am still forgetting something else important. Something that happened to Master. I suppose in time it will come to me. Before I leave, might we go and speak with Ramumu? If not for her insistence, I would have been bereft of your assistance. It would be rude not to extend my thanks to her as well. Alright. Sure. So I guess they're not gonna touch on the story, huh? I think it's touched in Final Fantasy XI, but I don't think they had touched it here. Iora told me the good news. Her memory is, for the most part, restored. Perhaps more importantly, her training is complete. If you hadn't come with me to Constantine, so I dare say she'd still be swinging at crabs along the beach. Now that I'm here, I'd like to talk about your story. But what were you doing before you arrived? How exactly did you come here to be in Eorzea? And you say you went back in time trying to save your world? Yes, you have the right of it. No life was spared by the darkness. None save for mine, that is. Fate had intervened and I was sent back to the past, to a time where I could find heroes capable of saving Vanadil. That is how I was reunited with Master, although at a much earlier time than I had anticipated. The last thing I remember is a fierce battle in a strange light. The next I awoke, I was here, to be torn away from Master when I was needed most. My heart feels like it may burst. How awful. You were close then? Master was like family to me and an exceptional warrior besides. I spent my entire life striving to become such a hero and live up to the legends so I so fondly remember. It all began with a stone, or so the story goes. In ages past, a sentient jewel, enormous and beautiful, banished the darkness. Its light filled the world with life and brought forth mighty gods. The world entered the age of bliss. That is, until the gods fell into slumber. That world is my home, Vanadil. Look at those Final Fantasy XI graphics. Good lord. It was home to three great nations, the Kingdom of Sandoria, the Republic of Bastok, and the Federation of Windhurst. Powerful as they were, though, in times of strife, they would turn to a single hero, my master. Be it demon of rage, seeking vengeance, or a spiteful god or destruction, our master was always there to pull us back from the brink of oblivion. Honestly, this is probably all way beyond the time of me being in Final Fantasy XI, because I didn't very get far in the story. I think the first I got in terms of story for Final Fantasy XI was, did the city rings count as story? Because if so, I only got as far as 4.3. or 4-3. Other than that, I don't remember much of the story. Be it. So long as there's light and life, as there's life and light in the world, the legend of Vana'diel's greatest hero will live on. But all those old graphics. The old models. There's little wonder these stories were the first to spring to my mind, back to my mind. I have all but memorized them, but no matter how many times I asked, you would always. Uh-oh, please excuse me. For a moment, I looked at you, and something in your eyes reminded me of Master and I. Don't worry yourself over it. I imagine our friend here often has that effect on people. I realize how ridiculous this seems. Anyone in the right mind would think it some fanciful dream. But for me, this world is the dream, and now it's time to be awakened. I mean, to be fair, I did jump shards into a completely different world, so it's not that crazy. When I first next open my eyes, I'll be home in Vana'diel once more at Master's side. This may be just a dream, but it was one I shall never forget. Thank you for everything. And how exactly are you going to do that? You still haven't figured out how you're gonna get home. No, just gonna do that, huh? Okay. It would seem I'm not ready yet ready to return. Is this perhaps the will of the goddess? Well, I don't think it was gonna be that easy. If it is by her will, then so it shall be. I vow to work hard every day to become a warrior worthy of your teachings. Then, when the time comes, we shall meet again, here in Eorzea, or perhaps in the waking world. Okay. There goes the greatest story I'll never get to write. An adventure from another world, traveling back in time to save her people. Who's gonna believe such a silly tale? I'll leave the flights of fancy to Peter, but for her sake, I hope she finds a way home, wherever that may be. Oh, she'll get there someday. Get some fancy armor. Alright. Nice! So basically, to touch upon it just a little bit, again, I don't know how true this is, because I'm just going off someone's post on Facebook, but I get the master that she was referring to was the player of Final Fantasy XI. The player ended up dying at some point in the story, of course Vana'diel along with him, or her, and she went back in time to, you know, as she said, help save the world. And the master, and since she was the master's pupil, she was the pupil for the player. So you, the player, she was your pupil. And honestly, that's as much as I know, because yeah, I don't remember much of Final Fantasy XI story. And I have no intention of going back to it either. It's one of those games where I don't see myself going back to, because I tried playing it. I think there was like a private server I tried going back to at one point just to see, and I just couldn't. So as much as I used to like Final Fantasy XI, I just don't see myself in this day and age going back to it. I mean, I know it's been a lot better. It was a very different game than 14 is. Very different. It was like hardcore back then. And they made it a lot easier. They made it a lot more accessible and easier, but I just don't see myself going back to it. But anyway, that is the Final Fantasy XI collaboration event. So, hope you found it interesting. It's nice to see all the old stuff again. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the next part is going to be. So whatever the next part's going to be, I will see you in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you whenever that's going to come out. Later.